So when it comes to becoming debt-free, the truth is motivation is just not enough. You're going to have to find a way to be disciplined. And for a lot of people, that only comes once you've hit your rock bottom moment, whatever that is for you. The reason I bring this up today is because when people used to ask me, why I was getting out of debt, because I got out of debt early in my marriage or early in my relationship. We weren't quite married yet. A lot of the questions were centered around like, how do you keep going? How do you tell yourself no? How do you, I just couldn't live like that. That's how a lot of people think about it, because it seems very extreme the way I was doing it. And for those of you who don't know, I was following the Dave Ramsey method of, snowballing your debt. And Dave Ramsey says, cut all the shit, man. He just cut everything extra that you don't need. Cut it. And I cut pretty hard. And a lot of people don't want to live like that. And I completely understand that. But I think where the disconnect is people don't understand how you could continuously live like that, right? I think most people could probably live like that for a month, right? They could say, all right, and you've probably seen it on social media, like we're going to do a saving money Monday, or we're going to do, this month we're not spending any money. And while those are great short-term goals, the problem with them is they only last for a second and then they're gone. Then you go back to doing the same shit. Sometimes you rebound back so hard, you spend enough to undo all the savings that you did. And that's why I'm talking about why is it that you need to get to the point where you're willing to live like that for a long time? Why do you need to have that? Well, it's because you got to build a sense of a new lifestyle for yourself when you do something like getting out of debt. Because if you don't, you're never going to be motivated to do it. The reality is you're just not. There's going to be pretty much most of the days you're going to want to quit. Like it sounds really good to say, all right, I'm getting out of debt. But when you have had a long week, your boss has been on your ass. Let's say like a lot of y'all, I know you got kids, you haven't spent any time with your kids. And when you do, they yelling and screaming and hollering because for whatever reason, you don't know if you're going to be able to have enough money for rent. Will the landlord extend your grace period? Like that kind of shit slowly gnaws at you. And when that's happening, the last thing you want to do is be like, okay, I'm going to be disciplined now. I'm not going to do it. And that word discipline is what most people lack. Most people don't lack the motivation in the beginning, right? But the thing with motivation is that it fades. It's supposed to fade. Motivation only gets you started. That's all it's supposed to do. That when you, like people say, why, remember your why. Like, why are you doing this? Why? And having a good why is great, but the why only gets you in the door. The thing that keeps you in the room is your ability to say no to yourself and all the things that got you there over and over and over and over again. And you don't build that just by being motivated. So when you hear people say things like, I don't understand, I'm just not motivated to do that. Most people are not motivated to say no to themselves. Most people aren't. Even the people who actually accomplish it. I wasn't either. I didn't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. The difference is I found the discipline because I had my holy shit moment already. And for me, what that was in college, having so little money, like $2-3, having so little money that I had to go days without food and get food from people I was living with. When I experienced that, legitimately, if you've been someone who has been able to take care of yourself for any extended period of time, and you experience what it's like to literally just be on your ass and you can't afford to eat, that does some shit to you. I'm not gonna lie. That was enough for me personally. That changed my psyche. And when I got out of that apartment in college, I told myself, I ain't never doing this shit again. Whatever I gotta do, I'll suck it up, be humble. I'll move back in with moms. I'll work what I gotta work, but I'm never doing this shit again. Ever. And anytime I was trying, my brain was saying, it's okay, don't be disciplined. I immediately went back to that moment. I was like, oh, no, because being undisciplined is going to take me right back there. I ain't going back there again. That's all it took for me. I had to be at my lowest in order to say, you know what? I need to be thinking and moving differently so that I am not getting the results I got before. And that's what I think a lot of people have to go through. Unfortunately, it's a reality of just being human that psychologically, some things just don't click for us unless we experience the worst versions of ourselves first. And, that's just how it is. So if you're wondering, why can I not get out of debt? Maybe the struggle just hasn't hit you like that. Or what I've noticed with some people is you have gotten comfortable with your struggle. You ever wonder why, and I'm sure some of you who know people like this, you see people who are struggling and you see that there's a way for them to get out of it. Yet they are not interested in any of those ways. Again, they have become comfortable with their struggle. A lot of people would just settle into the shitty parts of their lives and then find small things that they can do and spend money on to make it a little bit better, a little bit brighter. It's not that I don't think that those people want to do that. I think that they just psychologically get beaten down to the point where they can't see a way out. So they just accept fate, right? That happens a lot to a lot of people. So I cannot tell you whether or not, which way you gonna go. But if you're wondering which person you are, the person who says, oh shit, I'm struggling, I need to do something different, or, this is my life now. If you're wondering which one you are, look around you. Look at your circumstances. And ask yourself honestly, are any of these things I could have avoided and things I could change right now? And if the answer is yes, ask yourself why you haven't done anything about it, right? Maybe it's just that you needed a wake-up call. Maybe you needed to just look in the mirror and be like, okay, it's time for me to be honest so I can get out of debt, so I can really get shit popping and moving so I don't have any payments anymore. Maybe you needed that. Or maybe you are someone who has just gotten comfortable in your shit. And that's a bad place to be, because I can tell you a lot of things about strategies and how. I cannot change you psychologically. I can't. I can say all the motivational words, but again, motivation is temporary. A lot of y'all will see videos a lot like my videos or better and be like, oh man, I'm ready to go. I am motivated to win. And you'll do it for a day. You'll do it for a week or two. And then just like your New Year's resolution, you'll say, man, fuck that. I'm trying to relax. And it's that little mechanism in your brain that likes to keep you comfortable that prevents you from getting to what you want. Because again, you're never going to find enough motivating videos. Like, I completely understand why people love motivational videos, but you're never going to watch enough of them to get you where you want to be. And if you add up all the time that you've spent watching shit like that, I'm almost certain you could have accomplished a few of your goals by now. I don't make videos on here because I want y'all to be inspired. I'm just telling what I think is the truth about the world. That's it. And if it benefits you, great. But I'm not trying to save everybody. That's the other part of it that you got to realize. Once you do get to a point where you find your discipline, you're going to realize that not everybody else is going to find it in the same way that you found it. You can't just replicate, copy, and paste. You can't do that because everybody's life and experiences have been different. And that means that it's necessarily going to take them something different to find it for them. So when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, here's what I would say. Be honest about exactly where you are. Ask yourself, have you had your oh shit moment yet where you're just like, I've had it? And if not, right? If you haven't had that, ask yourself, is the circumstances that are around you bad enough to the point where you'd say, I need to make a change? Because it's great to say, I want to have a better life for my kid. It's great to say, I want to be able to support, my mother, my father when they get older. People have great goals. But I'm telling you, there's no goal. There's no one individual goal that's going to get you over the hump enough for you to be just inspired all the time. Because that's just going to fade. In in the depths of your bullshit, it's going to fade. When you are having the hard days, that shit's going to fade, and you got to find a way to be disciplined. Discipline is going to take you way further than any of the motivation, but everybody finds that in a different way. So my advice, find your discipline. How you do that, I can't tell you because it's different for everybody, but I do hope you find it. I'll talk to y'all later.